I bathe every night and maintain good hygiene, but still feel like I smell unpleasant at my mechanic job, especially now with this hot weather. I read that some people use powder in that area. Does anyone else do this? Story 1. Why is everyone talking about wiping their ass? This has nothing to do with not wiping properly. It's about sweating. If you are hairy or bigger, you are going to sweat down there, so use baby powder, lose weight, or shave. It has nothing to do with not being clean down there. Story 2. Apparently, not many people in these comments understand that pretty much no mechanic shops are air-conditioned. Most have asphalt roofs and are surrounded by blacktop. When it's 80 degrees outside, it's 100 degrees inside. When it's 100 degrees outside, it's 120 degrees inside. You don't have to be dirty to get sweat rashes. The sheer amount of people referring to the original poster as unclean tells me too many of you have never worked in a shop. I don't care who you are. If your private areas are sweating at a high rate all day long, a daily shower isn't going to help when you sweat all the way through your clothes by lunchtime. To the original poster, wipe your private areas often, even if you didn't have a bowel movement. Drying the area of concern is always helpful. Powder products like Monkey Butt powder and medicated powders work well. Another thing to consider is getting a misting fan for your work area. If you are broke, a spray bottle and any fan can help. Just stand in front of the fan and spray water toward the fan. It will cool you off quickly. Another helpful tip is using a wet rag on your neck. Avoid going super cold when you are super hot because it can cause shock and headaches. If you are working outside, definitely wear sunscreen and find shade or buy an umbrella. Skin cancer is also not as fun as it sounds. Story 3. Baby wipes should not be flushed. When you shower, wash your hands thoroughly with soap. No one will ever notice any odor. Story 4. Hey, wildland firefighter here. Professional at getting the ever-present smoky and ashy stench out of my skin and avoiding smelling unpleasant. I hope by bathe you mean shower, because baths are not for cleaning or hygiene. Baths are relaxing, but if you want to get clean, use the shower head. The water pressure is very valuable for prying gunk off. I use 3 different soaps on my body: body wash, shampoo, and conditioner. Body wash starts on my chest and I work my way down. Once I've lathered basically every spot, I go back to the front and bed the soap everywhere, then work on my behind and scrape all the soap off there. Literally think of your hand like a credit card going through a machine. Shampoo and conditioner are treated the same. I use them in my hair, then take the excess and put it under my armpits and in the front and back. I also have a beard shampoo, but I usually don't need it for bad spots, so I just use the other soaps to clean it. I use Gold Bond body powder to minimize chafing and feel very refreshed. Put some in a hand, apply it to one side of the inner thigh, then do the same for the other. You can also apply it between your buttocks or in your armpits if you have chafing. Apply it when you get home and before you leave in the morning. The chafing should be fine from there. I've been using the same bottle for 5 years without much issue. Some other things that might get neglected: deodorants, keeping up with other hygiene routines to help with a general sense of cleanliness, clean clothes. If you're working in a shop and sweating because it's hot, have a cooler with some ice packs. I did this when I worked in a hot place with no air conditioning in the bunks and it helped me sleep. Giving your body a break from sweating heavily might help ease you from getting overwhelmed by your own scent. Story 5. A very simple trick is using Head and Shoulders as a body wash in those areas a couple of times a week. It has an antifungal that will kill anything you have going on down there. I hear this also works well on bacterial acne. Breathable underwear also helps a lot. Ditch the cotton and wear dry fit. Story 6. Honestly, you need to clean thoroughly, even just a little while in the shower. Don't be afraid. I bought a thin loofah, and yes, I scrub between my cheeks and under and around the folds. I'm a big guy, I sweat, and I feel like I smell all the time. I use actual soap and then body wash. Story 7. Straight cornstarch. Used to do this in kitchens for years. One for food, the other was marked and known for the staff. The only kitchens I have ever worked in that did not have it were also lacking in the fun department. Now I use baby powder and work construction in the South. It does not feel the same. Story 8. I wipe myself multiple times a day. Even if I do not have a bowel movement, sometimes just wiping away sweat and dirt is worthwhile. Story 9. Obligatory note. I am not a man, but my boyfriend is, and he is also a mechanic. He will complain that he stinks, but I don't think he does. Also, consider trying some type of deodorant on your sweaty areas. You can try Lume, which comes in some neutral scents and not just feminine ones. They make stick deodorants and cream ones in a tube. It works well for some people. Many women with large breasts use products like that underneath to prevent discomfort. If you have an antiperspirant that works well for your underarms, try buying one for other areas and give it a shot. Story 10. Gold Bond or Arm and Hammer body powder is your best bet. Preferably talc-free with natural ingredients, and maybe even menthol infused to give that cool breeze feeling all the time if you're into that. Keep some wet wipes around, either in your backpack or in your car. I always keep a pack of Arm and Hammer body wipes or any wipes, even makeup remover wipes if I can't find anything else, preferably with aloe vera and natural ingredients. Definitely do not use antiperspirants. Some guys they do not bother, but some have issues without knowing it is the antiperspirants. I always highly advise against them. They literally stop your sweat glands from working properly and can potentially clog your pores, leading to an infection or cysts. I have known guys who keep a spray can with antiperspirants and later notice a cyst forming or discomfort from spraying down under at the gym. Story 11. 100% cotton underwear, or the highest percentage of cotton that you can buy, is recommended. Stay away from all synthetics. Change t-shirts and underwear at lunch. It makes you feel clean just having dry clothes on. Story 12. Shower in the morning. I do not sweat much when I sleep, but it is enough to guarantee that I stink by the end of the day if I do not shower in the morning. Story 13. Try different fabric undergarments. I have switched to more breathable and lighter fabric. It has worked wonders for me. Story 14. Bamboo underwear. Jeansure brand available on Amazon. It breathes better than anything else I have tried. On really hot and sweaty days when you are very busy, you might experience a little chafing, but nothing like with normal underwear. If I feel some wetness, I go to the bathroom and wipe, just in case. Story 15. Bro, apply baby powder. I keep a travel-size baby powder in my work locker just for this. Anyone who criticizes you is outdated. It is nice not having skin stick to your thigh. Story 16. Working hard labor during summer in coveralls always creates some sweat and odor in the groin area. There is no way to completely avoid it. I was a boxing and kickboxing trainer teaching 5 classes a day, 5 days a week for 10 years, and always worried I smelled bad. Even though the women said I never did. You can use wet wipes in the bathroom during the day. Make sure you are completely drying your groin area after every shower. Leaving it damp will cause more harm than good. Powder can help, but I have never used it because I do not like how it feels. Keeping the area dry is the main thing. I wore breathable athletic boxers during the day and loose boxers or none at night. Also, I keep that area trimmed very short or shaved. Hair contributes to odor. Some men think maintaining body hair is unmanly, but I do not care what others think. The women love it, and that is what matters. The best action is to shower before and after work. Do not use body washes every day, but occasionally. Try to find products that are as organic as possible. Chemicals will not help. Story 17. Ball pouch underwear was a game changer for me. Dude wipes are useful for when you need to use the bathroom, but disposal can be challenging. They are not safe for septic systems despite what the packaging claims. Story 18. Make sure there is no polyester material and try to choose 100% cotton or breathable material for underwear. Story 19. Start with new underwear. Have separate pairs for work and civilian life. Replace the work pairs often. Wear sports underwear during work hours. Story 20. When you are washing, be sure to really get in the cracks. If you use body powder, double check that it is talc-free. I believe most, if not all, are by now. Story 21. Place the air hose into your pants and release air periodically. For best results, do this after passing gas near other coworkers. Story 22. I deal with this by showering twice a day and making sure to dry off completely. My hair and body hold moisture. I use antiperspirant deodorant and baby powder on my groin area. My trick is showering twice a day, using baby powder, and thoroughly drying off before getting dressed. Also, wash all socks and underwear with hot water and extra soap. Spandex material tends to hold bacteria longer and better than traditional cotton. Story 23. Monkey but powder. If you are looking for a product suggestion and have tried the free tips others provided. Story 24. Lush Cosmetics has a powder called Silky Underwear that is great for stopping sweat in all the folds and creases and will help control excessive sweating. Story 25. You can frequently do the security wipe. Just go to the bathroom when you urinate, take some toilet paper and do a swipe. Repeat as necessary. Story 26. Use a soap with tea tree oil and peppermint. Apply Gold Bond medicated powder before bed. Take a bath with a cup of baking soda occasionally. Story 27. Bamboo fiber underwear feels comfortable and wicks moisture effectively. You need two kinds of powder, Gold Bond, the yellow one, for everyday wear, and Myconazole powder sold as foot powder. The drugstore brand is sufficient. Myconazole is an antifungal that keeps the area dry. Use it for a week, then switch to Gold Bond. Return to Myconazole if you experience chafing or an unpleasant odor. Story 28. I work outside in the desert. I have 32 cool underwear from Costco and use Monkey Butt powder in the yellow container. Story 29. I have always used a bit of deodorant there, but I looked it up and Google says it might sometimes cause irritation. It works for me, though. Story 30. I am not a doctor, but I worked outside and sweat a lot. Shaving doesn't have to be completely smooth because hair holds moisture. Use glycolic acid once a week. It is a chemical exfoliant. Apply it 5 to 10 minutes before you shower. When you shower, make sure every inch is soaped and scrubbed thoroughly. After you get out, towel dry everywhere. You can apply powder specifically for that area. A non-aluminum deodorant I like is Routine Cream, and the scent Johnny Cash is suitable for men. This should help keep you in good condition. I also recommend lotion for areas nearby, but not between sensitive areas. Story 31. I adjust my clothing every few minutes when nobody is looking. It helps improve airflow in that area. Story 32. Because you generally do, cannot be helped for what you do for a living. It is not just your body odor, it is all of the other fluids you work with and around all day long. You smell, and there is nothing you can do about it while you are at work. Go home and shower after work. Story 33. Desitin, or baby rash ointment, can be used. You could also use Lotrimin. Usually, swamp ass starts as a fungus like athlete's foot. Keep dry. Avoid excessive gas. Story 34. I read every comment and found nothing similar. Actually, I have never heard of anyone else doing this. I leave some toilet paper between my buttocks. When I take my morning bowel movement, my last wipe is with a baby wipe. I start at the scrotum, go through the perineum, and make sure the anus is really clean. Then, I fold 3 sheets of clean toilet paper and place them between my buttocks. My underwear never has stains, and halfway through the day, I switch out the paper for a fresh one if needed. I have been doing this for over 30 years, so I have perfected my method to prevent toilet paper from slipping out of my pants. Again, this might seem unusual because I have never heard of anyone else doing this, but it definitely works for me. Edit. I knew there had to be other people with the same idea because it truly works. Edit 2. The paper does not go inside the anus. It acts like a protective barrier for the area. Story 35. Check your nutrition. If you need to wipe more than once or twice to get clean paper, you may have a digestive issue and are leaving stool in your rectum that works its way out to your anus when you move, stretch, or twist. This creates itching, odors, and discomfort. It might be dairy, alcohol, or high-acid foods like tomatoes. Eliminate these foods until you determine the cause. Story 36. This may sound unusual, but try this method. Brew about 6 to 8 black tea bags. Then pour the brewed tea into a large container and add water as needed. Sit with the tea mixture covering the area for about 15 minutes. This can help eliminate harmful bacteria and shrink your sweat glands. You can use the same method for your feet if they have an unpleasant odor. When treating your feet, I recommend breaking open the tea bags and rubbing the tea mixture directly on them. This is not a cure, but it can be very helpful. Also, do not use boiling hot tea. Use warm tea instead. You are not trying to cook yourself. Story 37. Man on all the way. Ever since I got the coronavirus, I've had a really sweaty, leaky anus. It's like aliens violated me. A little powder up there keeps me fresh and prevents chafing on the front line. Story 38. There is a product called Monkey Butt Powder. I have never used it, but I have seen it sold at places like Love's Truck Stop. If it works for truckers, it is probably worth checking out. Story 39. Before I go to the construction site, I use baby powder in the boxers. It helps with chafing but does not stop the sweating. Story 40. Snake brand prickly heat powder. Apply all over after shower. Finish your shower with cool or cold water. Story 41. Technique is going to change a lot depending on what you are doing when it happens. One universal thing is how tight your clothes are. Loose clothes allow for better breathing and heat management. Story 42. Shower and thoroughly air dry after towel drying. If the irritation is severe, I use the green bottle of Gold Bond. That product is effective and will soothe your skin. Story 43. Bidet. See if your workplace is open to installing them. Even when I am out running in the summer heat, I do not have to worry about a muddy mess because there is no mud to make a mess. Story 44. I hate the powder. I just sweat through it, and it makes things worse. I go the opposite direction, grease it up. I use Lamisil antifungal treatment. I've heard of other people using Aquaphor or Vaseline. I've tried them too, and they work. When you use the restroom, whatever cream or petroleum jelly you use forms a barrier, giving you a much cleaner and more effective wipe. Reapply after wiping and as needed throughout the day. Find some nice lightweight boxers. The lighter and more breathable, the better. Take an extra pair and change them during your lunch break. Eat more fiber, including lots of vegetables and leafy greens. Avoid alcohol, coffee, fried, and processed foods. Story 45. Check your diet. The fattier and sweeter my diet is, the more uncomfortable I feel when I sweat. I am not sure if there is anything to that, but I have switched to eating a salad for dinner with lean protein during the summer, and it has really helped me feel better the next day. I have also noticed a significant improvement since removing sodas and beer from my diet. Story 46. I use a bidet. I have never felt so fresh all day. My bottom is cleaner after I use the restroom than before, especially on hot days. Story 47. Get a bidet. You get cleaner after going to the bathroom, and you can use it to freshen up during the day if needed. You can buy a portable one to take to work as well. Just make sure to get fully dry after using it. Powder can help. I also wouldn't hesitate to use a spray antiperspirant if you sweat excessively. Story 48. Are you washing your anus with soap or just letting water run over it? You need to wash your anus. There are too many men who do not wash their anus. Wash your anus with soap. Story 49. Get a bidet at home and flushable wipes for work. You would be surprised how much is still left after a good wipe. Story 50. After using toilet paper, finish with baby wipes. If you feel dirty during the day, go to the bathroom and wipe again with baby wipes. Story 51. I have used baby powder for decades. I have read how toxic it is, but I am in my 60s and have had no problems yet. It is effective in terms of keeping me fresh and odor-free. Obviously, I practice good hygiene as well. Story 52. Trick I learned in Iraq. Take a couple of squares of toilet paper and place them firmly between your buttocks. Replace every 8 to 12 hours or as needed. Story 53. I will start with this because it seems obvious, but most men overlook it. Wash your buttocks, including the crease as well. Clean the perineum and testicles too. Some people mentioned using powder, which is worth a try. Story 54. Gold Bond Powder. I have a very sweaty groin area, and I swear by it in summer, especially when I lived in much more humid climates than I do now. Story 55. Get a water softener. It helps the soap rinse off your skin. At first, you may not notice, but shower in a house with one for a year, then stay at a hotel. You will find that the soap does not suds up properly or rinse off. Story 56. Apply baby powder every morning. Shower when you get home. I try to wear loose track pants or shorts afterward and sleep naked or in boxers. I used to get severe chafing and excessive sweating, especially as a mechanic. Story 57. Bidet and baby powder. Bidets can cause discomfort. Nothing is better than soap and water, though. It will clean and dry the area. Just have plenty of towels and use them. Story 58. Respectfully, I am not a man. I appreciate you worrying about this because I feel most men do not. Their sit down and stand up air is awful. I have heard antibacterial soap is the best option for those areas. Story 59. You can just go to the bathroom and wipe? This is not a common problem for me, but one day it was really hot and I had to run to get to my job. I felt my skin was sweating and it was kind of slippery, so I went to the bathroom and wiped the sweat. Story 60. The real answer here is Listerine. Swamp ass is a bacterial infection. I have had many cases of swamp ass. Listerine. Story 61. I would not use powder. They usually have really bad ingredients unless you find a clean, organic powder. I would recommend investing in loose wool underwear and using body wash, not bar soap, to clean the sweaty areas. Story 62. Go to the bathroom and wipe thoroughly as if you just used the restroom. I read a comment suggesting using powder, which might be a more convenient option. Story 63. Go to the store. Buy washcloths, the cheap ones that have some grip to them. Have a good old-fashioned bar soap, not Dr. Squatch. Use something like Dial bar soap or Irish Spring. Get a body wash. Wet the washcloth. Create suds under the water with the washcloth. Scrub your body. Face, behind ears, neck, arms, chest, legs, armpits, and buttocks. Get in the crevices and creases. Don't be scared. Repeat with body wash and a new washcloth. Make sure you dry off well. Use witch hazel on cotton pads. Apply to armpits, buttocks, and anywhere you sweat heavily. Make sure you get a deodorant. A good one with aluminum. Avoid aluminum-free products. Use a whole-body deodorant as well. I'm not a man, but this is what I make my man do. Story 64. Some athletic dry-fit briefs instead of cotton or boxers. Absolutely no to boxers if you get sweat accumulation because that feels uncomfortable and sometimes drips down your leg if it gets bad during the summer. Story 65. Anti-monkey but powder or spray deodorant works great. Use it on your skin to stop chafing as well. Story 66. Cornstarch. A little dusting helps a lot. We kept a box in the walk-in freezer at one place I worked. Story 67. Shower-to-shower sport scent is available. Put a little squeeze in your groin area and down the front when you are in your underwear, and you will be good for the day. I have the same condition as you, my friend. Story 68. Gold Bond for when it is muggy outside. I use Mandarin lotion for cooler temperatures and keep wet wipes in the work van or in my car. Story 69. I hate to break it to you, but if you are experiencing excessive sweating daily, your hygiene might not be as good as you think. Story 70. Apply powder to all skin areas where friction occurs or where sweat accumulates. Underarms, inner thighs, and the area between the buttocks are common friction areas. The back of the neck and lower back are areas where sweat tends to collect. Story 71. First rule is do not defecate outside my house. A shower must follow. Second, a person should wipe at some point during the day. These two, along with solid hygiene, keep it under control. Story 72. Just carry a pack of wet wipes with you and give attention to the genitals every time you enter the bathroom. Story 73. Baby powder could work. Moisture-wicking underwear and clothing could also help. If you develop a rash or anything that increases heat in that area due to inflammation, try some cooling rash lotion. Be careful where you apply it, as it can have the opposite effect if it gets on sensitive skin. Story 74. Well, I used to use Gold Bond in the summer religiously. But then I found out how it is linked directly to testicular cancer, which I still do not understand. It worked great, but now I just deal with buttock sweating. Story 75. I use a half-second spritz of Arid XX dry spray every night after my shower. It makes all the difference in drying out and keeping odor down. Story 76. Maybe her cooler underwear or more breathable pants if you can. Do you remember in Jackass when Steve-O drank Preston's swamp-ass sweat? Story 77. There's something you are not telling us. You should not have the condition of a swamp if you are bathing yourself correctly. Either you are in the sun built like Peter Griffin or you are unfamiliar with washcloths, good soap, quality deodorant, deep cleaning, exfoliation, and lotion or moisturizer. All this talk about powder, placing toilet paper in buttocks, and wet wipe compartment discussion is odd. Some of you might just be standing in the shower and shrugging because it's hard to believe what I'm reading here. If a soapy washcloth or loofah is not scrubbing every inch of your body, including the bottoms of your feet and your anus, you are showering incorrectly. Story 78. Thoroughly clean the anal area. Some people mistakenly believe it is inappropriate to touch it. Also, what is your diet like? Story 79. Seems weird, but use Nair on your armpit hair and it helps. Some level of sweat accumulation is just part of life. Story 80. Wet wipes, powder, and maybe brush some of the hair back. Shower often. Lose some weight. Eat better. Story 81. Baby powder and wet wipes make a huge difference. I showered twice a day but still smelled unpleasant at the end of my workday. The wet wipes remove sweat, and the powder keeps you dry without chafing. Story 82. Change underwear daily, not just turning briefs inside out and wearing them again. Not saying you are doing this. Get flushable wet wipes and use them to wipe your entire front and back area every time you urinate or have a bowel movement, especially after a bowel movement. Also, the Dollar Tree store has inexpensive men's body spray that can be generously applied to that area. Just don't do it right after you shave down there, if that's your preference. Story 83. Hair removal, bidet, deodorant and antiperspirant cream, high-fiber diet, scrotal pouch, breathable underwear. Story 84. Real men work their gluteal muscles at the gym so the cheeks can provide a strong base for the boxers designed for airflow. Story 85. I use breathable underwear. I use a product called Fresh Balls for my genitals. It is an anti-chafing cream and deodorant. Baby powder or any powder for that matter makes a mess and it is not good to breathe in. I am not sure, but you could try using it in other places as well. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.